Just give me your thoughts on the whole Hall of Fame.
First of all, I don't know how the scouts missed me when I got out of high school, but
it's in the buffet hall.
My hands. I recommend all young players go to the Chinese buffet. Their hands will be much more quicker. That's all I got to say. Go to
what about talk about the Jordan and Van Gundy situation? What was your take on that?
Well, I was surprised he remembered his name. Actually, we're gonna come back and laugh at
do you think Jordan came off like an asshole on Friday?
I think he was trying to send a message to people that you need motivation.
Right.
And like me, I have none.
Yeah,
I mean, do you think he was outclassed by David Robinson and John Stockton?
I didn't hear their speeches.
Right.
I only heard his, actually.
I remember when I first came.
And Clone Haviv.
Oh, really?
Hey guys, I just want to give my extra thoughts on the whole Hall of Fame situation that happened this past weekend. Michael Jordan, John Stockton, David Robinson, Jerry Sloan, and Vivian Stringer all inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. I thought it was a very entertaining show, a very classy show, a very magical show. First off, I want to congratulate John Stockton and David Robinson personally. For me, those were two of my favorite players growing up. David Robinson, a class act. I really enjoyed his Hall of Fame speech. You know, David Robinson took a lot of criticism when Hakeem Olajuwon murdered him in 1995 during those Western Conference finals. You know, took a lot of criticism, and I'm just glad to see that he got his due. He won a couple championships with Tim Duncan, but you know, a lot of people have been very hard on him over the years, and I'm just happy to see that he made the Hall of Fame and he got the respect that he deserves, because he was definitely a rare breed. We'll never see it's very rare that we'll see a center like him again. You know, someone that could steal the ball, run the break, run the floor, really nice spin moves. He's just he was a very versatile big man. Definitely, probably my favorite big man ever. John Stockton, I mean, if you're going to start a basketball team, you want an error-free point guard. Someone that's going to do exactly what the coach wants. You know, John Stockton's on my team, and I thought he gave a very great speech. You know, I haven't really got a chance to hear Stockton talk, or he really hasn't shown a lot of his personality, but I thought he just came across as a really good-hearted guy. And obviously, he's a hell of a father and a husband just by seeing all the family that he brought there and the nice things that he said about them. And Jerry Sloan, probably the most underrated coach of all time. So yeah, let me just get down to the Jordan situation, because I don't have a lot of time. I want to get all this in under 10 minutes. You know, there's a lot of mixed feelings going around out there. I think Jordan's message was to send to people was you need to be motivated, basically. If you want to get anywhere in life, you have to be motivated by something, and you can't just go through life going through the motions. And I think that was his message. You know, a lot of people think he took a lot of cheap shots at people. This one journalist on Yahoo, I'm sure some people read the article, who said, you know, Michael Jordan, you won, you beat everyone. Why are you trying to use this Hall of Fame time to kind of rehash and revisit old feuds and old beefs you had with different coaches and players? Well, I don't know. I think Jordan was just trying to thank everyone that motivated him, because, you know, really, if you read any type of book about Jordan, you read anything that Phil Jackson had said in the past, he would tell you that Michael Jordan was constantly looking for things to motivate him. You know, he brought up the Byron Russell thing, how Byron Russell was talking slick to him after he retired. So, yeah, I mean, that wasn't that big of a deal to me. That was kind of funny to me. The whole Van Gundy thing I find hilarious, how Van Gundy thought Jordan was a con artist. That whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, you're a nice guy. I mean, Jordan was a nice guy. I mean, he's pretty friendly to all the guys. He's a pretty sociable guy. So, I mean, just because he murdered him on the basketball court doesn't mean he was trying to con them. You know, he was just doing his job, you know. And the Pat Riley thing, Pat Riley, he wouldn't let Jordan take Charles Oakley and Patrick Ewing out to dinner, and talked about how John Starks used to talk trash to him, and then that's what motivated Jordan as well. You know, the dirty play from the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons, and then he brought up Isaiah. Isaiah looked stunned. He brought up the freeze out situation. Now, this is the one thing I think he probably should have left out. You know, I was only a baby when this went on, so I didn't see the game. I didn't see any of this weekend. All-Star Weekend 1985. But let me break it down for you like this. Jordan was in the dunk contest. He was under the contract with Nike. I think Nike wanted him to wear this jumpsuit. So he wore this he wore this jumpsuit to promote his Air Jordan brand, and he wore a bunch of gold chains while he performed in the dunk contest. Now, like I heard Magic Johnson, Isaiah, and George Gervin took exception to it, so they weren't really talking to him the rest of the weekend. They kind of froze him out, so to speak. I don't know. I really don't think it's a big deal. Anytime a new guy is around a different crowd, it's going to take a while for them to earn their respect. You know what I'm saying? That's just a natural thing to do. But journalists always have to make a big deal out of things that aren't a big deal. So the whole thing, I think, got blown out of proportion. So Jordan brought it up. Isaiah kind of looked stunned, and George Gervin, I don't know. They look kind of uncomfortable when he brought it up. So I don't know. That was just kind of weird to bring up. But that was one of the things that did motivate Jordan. And Jordan said whether it was true or not, he was just happy to be there, and he just used it as a means to motivate him. One of the other things that Jordan said, he might have came off a little bit too cocky. There was a time when he erupted for like 20 points to bring the Bulls back, and Tex Winter, the gentleman who was kind of the founding father of the triangle offense, said to Jordan, he said, there's no I in team. And then Jordan looked at him and said, yeah, but there's an I in win. Now people misinterpret this as Jordan trying to be overly cocky and arrogant. It's not really a humble thing to say. It's kind of, it is pretty cocky, but I think Jordan was trying to send a message, that the NBA is the kind of game where you can't let the coaches run every single possession and run every single offensive play by themselves. You need players to step up and get into their rhythm, and you need players to take over a game, and that could be what ultimately wins championships. That the NBA is a league of stars. It's a league where stars have to rise to the occasion and put on a show. That's just the way the game is because of matchups. It's just not, for whatever reason, it's just not like the college game. It's just a different game. There's different players of athleticism. So I think Jordan was just trying to make a point, that sometimes players have to go off and have some freedom and do what they need to do to win the game. I don't think he was trying to act arrogant or cocky. I think that was the message he was trying to send. And also, got to keep in mind, a lot of people paid a lot of money to see this thing. I think he also wanted to give the fans what they wanted. I think the fans wanted to be entertained. And I think Jordan bringing up some of the guys he played with and he had feuds with, I think that really made them happy. People seem like they were enjoying it. But there are other people like Craig Popovich, Mr. Military Dude, Mr. Discipline, who looked like he wanted to kill Jordan during that speech. But yeah, overall, I thought it was very entertaining. I think, it created a lot of buzz. When I went to a 3-on-3 tournament over the weekend and past the security guards, they stopped to want to talk to me about the Hall of Fame because they were excited about it. They were pumped up with whatever happened the night before. So it did get people talking, and I thought it was very memorable. And by far, this was the most talked about Hall of Fame thing. And I'm glad this whole thing with Kanye West happened because it's kind of whatever heat that Jordan had from some of these journalists. I think it's definitely going to diminish now. So because that was just, I'm not going to talk about that Kanye West thing. Just let me forget about that. But I think Michael Jordan, I was very happy to see him in the Hall of Fame, and definitely the greatest basketball player that ever lived. And is it a positive or a negative thing to look up to Jordan's mentality? This winner's mentality that Jordan has, this extreme competitive drive. I don't know. It's a tough thing to think about. One of the things about Jordan is he uses this winning philosophy not just in basketball, but even with his wife. Well, before he met his wife, he said, "This woman's going to be my wife." Even though she was in a relationship, he figured, "I'm going to do anything I can to get this woman." Now, I'm just thinking to myself, is that really the right way to go about things? I mean, if a girl's not going to want to go out with you, are you going to try to force the issue? I don't know. I mean, it's just something you can't do. So I'm not saying everything that Jordan does is the right way to do it. Some people call him the Teflon Don of basketball because he charges so much money for his sneakers, and he's pretty greedy when it comes to winning. So I don't know. I want you guys to give me your thoughts on it. Did you think Jordan overreacted? Was he too cocky, or do you think he just gave the fans what he wants? Let me know what you guys think.